So I'm doing this review for Jack, but I think it's going to apply to all you guys as well. So this guy was a car salesman. Jack has a follow-up on Sunday. It's kind of crazy. After this is the objection handling process. So this is not bad because it shows that you're battling, right? Eventually, it can get shortened down to like just like 5, 10 minutes max because of that quick eye of understanding, um, like what the actual objection is, overcoming their logic, kind of going from there. So.
Before I get into it too, this call should be about 30, 40 minutes. Do you have any hard cutoffs within like the next hour that would prevent you from staying on the whole time?
Mm.
No, I don't think so. Oh, I got you.
Good
And
job.
then do you have any partners or like a spouse, anything like that you need to be on the call with you for this?
No, nobody that I need to know.
Okay, awesome. And then finally, after you booked this call with me, it should have sent you to a video chat talking about the mentorship a little bit more. Were you able to watch that video?
Yeah.
Okay,
Nice job, Jack. That's like just eliminating all of those objections right off the bat.
awesome, man. So you feel like you've done enough research about Chad and about his process before jumping on like a random call with a random guy, right?
Yeah, decent amount.
Okay,
Okay. So yeah, all these things what I like doing when I ask these questions is I like jotting them down. And you want to hear what they say because you're going to use this as leverage when they actually are at the end of the call. All right. It's going to be good leverage.
awesome, man. Sweet. So let's get right into it. So basically, this call is more so for us to kind of see where you are in the whole e-commerce process. What are you doing right now? What are you looking to do in the future? And what's kind of holding you back and getting there? And then at the end of the call, if everything seems like it might be a good fit, then we can talk about those next potential.
And what I'm doing here right off the bat, Jack, is like this guy, like what I typically do is like analyze a person within like the first like 30 seconds to a minute, based on their response, their tonality, how are they responding? And are they responding in a way where they're open, they're closed? Um, it's kind of like boxing, right? I don't know if you ever box or anything, or it's kind of just like you're getting a feel of the person right off the bat. You're like, all right, like what is this guy's rhythm? How can I fit this guy's rhythm? And then how can I make sure that I can overcome some things based on who he is? He's like very straight faced. So immediately I'm like, yo, I'm gonna have to check and challenge this guy to be like, look, man, like what's going on? Like, is this something you're serious about or not? He's trying to put on a straight face.
Steps. Sound good?
Yeah.
Okay, cool, man. So do you know what you're looking for specifically in terms of one-on-one mentorship with Jad coming into this?
Yeah, just a little bit of guidance on like to be honest, I don't know anything about I shouldn't say I don't know anything. I know a little bit about e-commerce as far as dropshipping, but I'm not really sure exactly where to start and how to get something going.
Hmm.
So the should kind of just be to give me the right steps to kind of head towards that.
Hmm.
I'm not too sure where exactly to start is basically. Right, so that's an objection in itself, right? He's looking for guidance. Um, this ends up coming in minute 41, right? Because he ends up saying like, well, I don't know if like I need to like start right? So anytime somebody comes up, this is an objection right off the bat. What I like doing is saying, look, man, I mean, we have hundreds of students who just started out. That's why we have like the step A to Z. I want to see what you say, but I just trying to make it super casual. Look, man, I mean, that's not wrong. We actually have people who've hit like five, six, even seven-figure months, and they didn't know anything about e-commerce. Mainly because we give you that guidance from the very beginning. As long as you got a laptop and Wi-Fi and you actually put in the work, you should be good. And then go on to the next question. The biggest thing. And then, yeah, I feel like typically once I get the ball rolling, I'm not too bad to pick up on things pretty quickly.
Hmm.
Just a little bit of guidance, like if I make those first and second mistakes or whatever, correct those quickly and then kind of move on. And with mentorship, it's kind of easy to just get past that, right?
Okay, that makes sense. How long sort of have you been like learning about
You see how you let that go, right? That's an objection. You want to be very, very aware. He's like, yeah, I just don't know where I was like, no worries, man. But we have hundreds of students, start from not even knowing anything about e-commerce and being interested in it because they know it's a big opportunity. Um, to really make sure that they've hit 5, 6, 7 figure months. They quit their job, they're going all in, mainly because we're using just Jad's process of how he went from basically zero or basically 20K debt to 30 million e-com sales and everything that he's just pouring into as well, which is why we have the support. From this, I like adding a little tie down. Does that make sense? They're like, yeah, yeah, yeah. You can just check their tonality of like if that actually is something that helps them along with the process and or that they understand that like okay I feel more calm now. I don't have to come with my guard up because I don't understand e-commerce.
e-commerce for?
I've been looking at like kind of a variety of different things like Amazon FBA, drop shipping, stuff like that. So I've been probably looking into stuff like this for about 6 to 8 months, give or
Okay.
take.
That's
That's leverage, 6 to 8 months. Yeah, just haven't really kind of seen like that's even like a red flag too, right? It's like, oh, okay, right? Like the way I have this rhythm with this guy is I'm kind of like having to check him all the time, so he gives me the right answers because he's kind of like he's softened up right now, but I could tell he's kind of a little bit, putting on like a hard face and stuff. So I'll just be like, um, 6 to 8 months, man. I mean, um, That's quite some time. You know, like um you think 6 to 8 months is like the time you need to kind of jump into something?
what I want to get into as much.
Hmm. I got you. So what sort of how do you gravitate more towards like
This is a good question too. So I would either ask this question and then follow it up with like why so long, man?
Shopify e-commerce compared to like Amazon?
To be honest, I like somebody from my city started doing dropshipping as well. Like made it out pretty big with it.
Mhm.
Like he just went to university with a couple of my buddies and then dropped out like a year and a half ago, and then all of a sudden he popped up with dropshipping and started doing his own thing, and it kind of worked out. So like just seeing that somebody else was able to actually do it in person, not just over Instagram, kind of helped a little bit.
Yeah, sure. You're having a little bit of FOMO, just seeing other dude in your city. Gonna
I
do
mean,
that.
man, see somebody drop out of university and then a year later buy like a Lamborghini, man, that's crazy.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, yeah. This is where you can casually drop in, right? Like Jack, I want you to keep your frame strong, right? Keep your frame strong. The more you like laugh and all that stuff, this is not the person that you want to like do that with because the more you keep your frame strong, then the more you can kind of create that no BS environment that they have to kind of give you the right answers, right? So you can be like, you can always catch up. Yeah, man. I mean, we've had similar stories of people, you know, um, just knowing nothing about it, and then they got the right mentorship and guidance, and then they boom, they went on to the next, level to quit their job, they're prime for their family, they can travel, they're pretty much free, man. That sounds like what you want to do, right? Cool. Awesome. So, why do you think it took 6 to 8 months, man? Like, I know you're kind of focused on dropship. Was that the instance that like made you actually be like, this is what I want to do?
it's a little more just so you can actually see that in real time. So are you in university right now? Are you working right now?
I was a salesperson, like I did sales and finance. I just recently left the dealership not too long ago. They lost a lot of access to some of their banks from their portal. So after like 3 or 4 of my deals went through because of that, I ended up leaving. So I'm gonna start up somewhere else, hopefully soon. But I want to get something going on like online, like e-commerce in the meantime.
Right. So you're not working right now?
Not currently, no.
Okay, I got you. All right, so you've been in for this for like 6, 8 months. I'm a little curious, like what sort of I know you saw someone do pretty big numbers with e-commerce specifically,
Good question, Jack.
already, compared to Amazon, but what sort of gravitated you towards looking at Jab compared to the other 100,000 other mentors out there?
Honestly, I'm not too sure. I guess just like seeing a lot of the like I guess reviews that people have already had kind of brought me a little bit more towards it. Kind of his background a little bit more as well. Like he's like from Lebanon and whatnot. I have a lot of friends that are Lebanese as well.
Hmm.
I just I don't know. I guess just the way his videos were presented just looked a little bit more eye-catching, to be honest.
Hmm.
See, for me, that's not like a good answer.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, it's very
Even with him talking about like the job, like I honestly would have gone into because I like flowing with things. I like flowing with the conversation. I don't like making sure that's like scripted questions, like doing check marks of like I would be like, okay, got it. So how long have you been working? It's like, yeah, man, it's been about like a month. It's like, okay, so you're basically not bringing any income right now. It's like, yeah, yeah. It's like, okay, so is that what kind of got you like getting a little bit quicker with, wanting to make sure that you got something going? Because I mean, you know. I would only assume like sitting around, not saying you're doing that, but like that probably gets a little bit boring, right? You'd be like, yeah, yeah, man. It's like, okay, so like you also want to get into e-commerce because like you want to just do something new, right? It's like, yeah. And then kind of just flow back into the other question.
he's very authentic and very upfront and transparent about the whole e-commerce process, not only the value that he gives people and his followers, but just to we really want to spread the correct information out there, especially when there's, like I said, hundreds to thousands of other mentors out there who are just flooding the space with e-commerce knowledge and information. He wants to make sure that people get the right stuff and actually the current information, not stuff from like 2014. So that's a little
Yeah.
something that he likes to actually show on not only Instagram but
You see here, you don't really have to sell him, right? You want to just be like, okay, so but like what like other than him being Lebanese, like is it the reviews? Is it is it that like you really believe? Because like, what's to say that you're gonna, this is an objection itself. What's to say that like we go through this whole process and you're like, look, man, I'm gonna just check around. Like what made you feel like, I mean, do you even feel like this can help you?
Facebook, TikTok, all that stuff. So okay, I see that. So within that 6, 8 months, have you like looked at any other mentorships, any other courses, like start a store, anything like that?
You see how that casually just kind of went by? He doesn't really care.
I know as far as drop shipping, no, not really. I haven't really looked around too much as far as drop shipping.
Okay. Can I ask why?
I was leaning towards more Amazon
Don't ask yourself, can I ask? Just say why.
FBA, and then I guess kind of got cold feet a little bit closer to when I was going to do that. And then I started leaning more towards dropshipping a little bit more recently. Like I kind of was looking
So
at
now how I analyze him, he's kind of like he's kind of scared, you know? He's kind of soft on the inside.
goal 6, 8 months ago. I leaned a little bit more towards Amazon FBA in the last like 3 or so months, I'd say. And then probably about the last month, I was looking more into dropshipping instead.
This is how long you following Jab for, like a month?
I think I followed Jad for about 2 to 3 months. I just
Okay.
never really.
So what I read from him, and he's scared to take action, right? Just for right now. Look at the data. 6 to 8 months. He was 2 or 3 months FBA. He's followed Jai for 2 or 3 months. Just the last month. All these different things like kind of show me like, okay, this guy's probably gonna be a guy. When I'm here, I'm gonna have to push him a little bit because he's gonna be scared to take action.
Like I'd see the content and everything, but I never really considered dropshipping over Amazon FBA until more recently.
Mhm. So what sort of was like the cause of kind of getting that cold feet? Was it seeing your body kind of make it big and be like, oh shit, I'm in the wrong model?
Yeah, a little bit more of that. Like I said, it's a little bit more of just seeing somebody actually do it, and it's like, okay, like if I know somebody in person that's been able to do good things with dropshipping, and I don't know anybody that's done it with Amazon FBA,
Mhm.
like it's just a second person to lean on. Like, if I need secondhand advice or anything, right? I can have help in person or whatever it is. With Amazon FBA, it's like if for some reason I don't get what I need out of the mentorship, then I can I'm kind of screwed at that point, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, that's the real reason, right?
Get your buddy to fall back on. So then I got to ask them, why don't you sort of just reach out to him and then ask him to kind of mentorship you?
Good question.
Like he's been busy doing a lot of his own stuff, to be honest. Like he travels back and forth between Vancouver and here. I was just kind of thinking about it. Like I haven't seen anybody really actually do it up with Amazon FBA versus I've seen somebody do it up with dropshipping.
Hmm.
That's kind of leaning more towards a dropshipping model in general. Like I'm sure if needed, I can probably get help from him, but I doubt it'll be like nobody wants to exchange a lot of their time just to help somebody for free for the most part. You know what I mean? Like I'm sure if I hit him up here and there for a couple things, he might help me out, but it won't be the same as getting a full-time mentorship from him.
This is good right here, Jack. This is what I would do here, and I'm giving you a lot, by the way. So take it for what it is. Just share my brain. So now what he's saying basically what he's saying is it's good to understand what he's saying, right? Now he's giving you the real reason why he's choosing Jad, and it's basically um I just need to know to somebody. I need to know somebody's actually doing it so I can trust that person. And that's why I was searching around. So you can ask them that. Be like, okay, got it. So from what it sounds like, man, is you kind of been searching around 6 to 8 months, 2 or 3 months here, 1 month Jad, you've been following Jad for 2 or 3 months. But the real reason this is important to you or you're on this call, or at least, talking to Jad is because he's done it before compared to other people, right? It's like, yeah, okay. So that's really important to you. Like you want to make sure that pretty much there's no BS. The person's doing the results not only for himself, but with other students, right? It's like, cool. Yeah, man. I mean, like, the funny thing about Jad, or I guess the cool thing is that like he never really like wanted to do this. It kind of just came afloat because of people interviewing him. That's why, and I would even pull up YouTube, type in Jad Kantari. I'd be like, that's why, like, if you look at here, you see the #1 marketing podcast in the US. Boom, they reached out to him to interview. You see, this guy who's really big in the e-commerce space. Boom, this guy in the big e-commerce space. Boom, all these people. Have you watched these YouTube videos, by the way? It's like, oh, okay, cool. So you actually know that like we're just very no BS. Yeah, man. And then kind of go from there. And then what I would even ask on top of that be like, okay, so basically, what it sounds like is like if everything made sense, since you already been searching around, right? Like if the program made sense to you and you already know Jad's legit, then like there's no reason why it would make sense to not move forward, right? And you kind of trap them there. And then you can just take that for leverage in the future.
Mhm. Okay, that makes sense. So you're fully looking for like that handheld guidance through the whole process to actually get
Yeah, give or take.
bits and pieces of questions here and there from your buddy.
Yeah, it's more just like it's like a time thing, right? Like I want to be efficient with my time. I don't want to wait like whenever somebody's free, waiting a few days to get an answer on something and then being stuck for a few days. That's not really going to progress things quickly, right? Like obviously, like when I was doing sales, time kills deals. That's one of the big things that we had. You give a customer more time to think about X, Y, and Z and compare between X, Y, and Z, it kills the deal a lot of the times, right?
You see, you can use that leverage against them too.
You
Yeah.
want to sell them a car when they're hot, when they're excited to get it, when they like it, once they like your product demonstration and all that stuff. I feel like it's the same thing with business, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
The longer you get things rolling, right? The longer it's going to take to start making money and then making improvements.
I would even use that, I guess, to be like, okay, cool. So like you're a quick thinker, right? Like, or your person takes action. You don't like to think about things, right? Because you already been thinking about this for a couple months, and then Jad's legit.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Okay, man. So I know right now you're sort of working. Are you looking to do this full time? Like if everything goes well?
Yeah, if it goes well, I can do it full time.
Okay. Is that just more so like give you the financial freedom, just give you a little more time freedom, but you don't have to go back?
Yeah, I like noticing his body language, right? Like now he's closing up. He opened up. Now he's closing up. He was a little bit more softer. Now I feel like he's putting on like a hard face.
To the job that you don't want, or what's the sort of around that?
Yeah, it's mostly just freedom with my time, to be honest.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, we pretty much do e-commerce from wherever you want. So it's it's the whole
Yeah,
beauty.
exactly.
Go a little bit deeper, man. Be like, what does that mean, man? What does that mean? Like you don't have freedom right now? I mean, you're not working. So like, what does that mean?
Yeah, I got you, man. So you've been
Yeah, don't be afraid to go deeper.
into e-commerce, or so you've been looking at e-commerce online just for about 6 8 months. You've been looking for specifically into dropshipping for like the last month or so, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So then why do you feel like right now is the right time to actually take the next steps and move forward with this and get mentorship for e-commerce?
Well, like I said, time's a big factor, right? Like every month I take that I'm not making money is a month that, or like I guess every month I take
You see, we didn't even explore that. Like that's a big thing. He's not working, right? We got to explore that.
that I'm deciding is that every month I take that I'm not making any progress, right?
Mhm.
Like you only spend so much time kind of looking around and doing enough research, but like the only kind of research and knowledge you really get is by trial and error, I feel like, right? Like you can only learn about the business model by doing the business model.
Mhm.
Like you can only do so much research, right?
Yeah, exactly. You only actually know like what it's like once you actually get your feet wet and started.
Exactly. That's where you make your first mistakes and then learn from them and kind of progress from there.
Yeah, exactly. So on the other side, you said you've been following Jad for 2, 3 months. You've been in e-commerce for about a month. Why didn't you do this like 2, 3 weeks ago?
Good question.
I guess that's a little bit of just having a cold feet, right?
Yeah. So then what about right now? Just how's
What do you mean cold feet?
it feel a little bit more warm? That makes sense.
Just kind of telling myself that I got to make a decision, right? Like it's
That's leverage right there.
like it's the same thing. It's like, for example, if I was like looking at Amazon FBA for 6 to 8 months, why didn't I
I would be like, well, what do you mean by cold feet, man?
start out of it earlier, right? Like getting cold feet hasn't really done anything.
I would be like, because at the end of the day, man, like, are you sure if this made sense to you, you're not gonna be cold feet inside of the program? Because like, if you're serious about this, like, you should just overcome that cold feet and take action, right?
In the last 6 to 8 months. What's like if I take another 2 or 3 months to do more research, what's that going to do for me, right?
Yeah.
If I don't,
You see, he's kind of just telling him, he's kind of revealing to you that he's soft.
when it doesn't work or whatever it is, at least have my answer and then I can kind of move on from there. And if it works, it works, right?
Yeah. But I'm sure you could have told yourself this even a week ago too. So like what makes telling yourself it right now so vitally important to actually get this done and start this?
It's better than telling myself this in a month from now, to be honest. That's 1 month of income that you can be missing out on, or 1 month of mistakes that you can learn from and kind of exceed from, right?
Yeah, true, but it could have been 2 weeks ago that you did this, and then you would have had 2 weeks of learning.
I
And
would just ask, man, what do you mean by cold feet? Like, what holds you back? Like, what do you overthink about? Is it like that you're scared it's not going to work for you, or what? That's just like the more direct question.
trial and error and just getting started with someone mentoring you. So why right now is it kind of like shit? I got to do this.
Um, Honestly, I'm not too sure. I guess I kind of came to like my senses a little bit more. Like, it's like, hey, like how long am I going to keep watching stuff online and get a little bit of research on it until I actually want to dip into it, right?
This is good objections. Go deeper than here. You have to say, what do you mean you made it a little bit more sense? Like, what did you tell yourself exactly to even hop on a call like this? Like, is it like, because it's really going to be about like, man, like, I don't want to be fucking doing car sales anymore, right? And he might have to reveal that to you, and that's called releasing control. When you really release control, then you have the sale,
No, that makes sense. Like you want to get to the analysis paralysis phase too,
right? Like, don't just like say that makes sense. Just like get it from him to release it, because he still didn't release it.
because then once
Like you want him to be like, look, man, you'll see the tonality change when people release control. They go, yeah, yeah, man. I mean, it really just comes down to I don't want to be doing car sales anymore, man. Like it's just kind of like a revolving thing, and I just got let go like a month ago, and you know, I'm like living at my brother's house right now. Like all these things, and then you're like, okay, so that's why you're on this call because X, Y, and Z. They're like, yeah, and then boom, easy, and you can use that with leverage.
you do that, they're like shit, it's too late. Once like a year,
Yeah.
2 years, 3 years go by. So okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's more looking backwards, like how much more time I'm going to waste, Like if I've already wasted that much time, like I should have done it a week ago, but what am I going to do now? Wait another month or wait like another hour and actually get stuff moving, right?
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Okay, so obviously you don't know everything about the mentorship right now. That's what I'm going to walk you through the next few steps. But before we even get there, I don't
You see, we didn't go too deep. Like he gave you like maybe 60-70%. Let's go here now.
want to waste your time. I'm sure you don't want to waste mine. What life look like for you then? That it doesn't look like now.
Like just more time to spend doing things I like, right? Instead of spending time, working hard, right? Like you guys can throw whatever knowledge you want at me. If I don't apply it, it's not going to go anywhere.
Let's actually go back here. Let's let this
You
load.
get stuff moving, right?
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Okay, so obviously you don't know everything about the mentorship right now. That's what I'm going to walk you through the next few steps. But before we even get there, I don't want to waste your time. I'm sure you don't want to waste mine. So if this were something that could not only give you the step-by-step guide to actually do e-commerce and build that brand, so you eventually get that time freedom, and so you're not relying on your buddy just to ask questions here and there and fail on your own, would you have set aside around
See, that's not the pain point though.
$3,000 to invest into it if it checked all those boxes and if it were a good fit?
Or like you're talking about like 3,000 US?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could do that. How much is expected to invest into the like how much do you need to start up dropshipping regardless?
We say like around after the mentorship, like 500 to $1,000 for ads too, especially because it's going to be a lot less strenuous. Like if you do this on your own too, you'd probably be wasting thousands of dollars on ad testing products, testing sites, testing different creatives, everything like that too. So we say with our guidance too, another like 500 to 1,000 just to test on ads.
Yeah, that makes sense. I have a few grand that I'm playing around with here, but yeah, if it checks out kind of all the boxes that I'm looking for, then yeah, I'd be definitely leaning more towards it.
Okay, I got you. So that's
I would still check him. I'd be like lean towards it or actually doing it because like again, you say you have cold feet,
something you have set aside to like I'm not saying
so you already kind of know his objection, bro. Like the whole thing would have been like 5 minutes at
your
that.
last dollar here.
No.
Okay, cool. All right, perfect.
Good.
So let's
Nice question.
look forward a little bit too. So like let's say everything does check out in mentorship. You get into this, you're be able to make the money that you want to actually get that time freedom and not have to go back to the job you don't want to. What does life look like for you then that you just can't do right now?
Yeah, you see those questions like I don't know, man. Those are like the salesy questions. Like you should just already get that out of them.
what are we doing on the daily
That's kind of
basis?
go here.
Live like a repetitive life over and over again, doing it for the past 6 months. Like how does that feel?
No, it feels pretty boring to be honest. It's not
Yeah,
really exciting.
yeah, I got you, man. Okay,
You
so
see, he's just kind of answering it, but there's no like emotion behind it. There's no release of control. You have to like challenge him on that.
like at the end of the day too, getting to the next level, you don't know what you're aiming at.
So I think here
You
you just
pull up
need
to
to
your
go.
site,
You need to go a little bit deeper into discovery.
get out of the way, close the doors at the beginning, and then handle objectives
Something to you has done it themselves, right? As opposed to somebody that's, like I can,
Yeah, this is actually an easy close, man. Actually, when I think of it, because you already know his information. You just had to go a little bit deeper. You use the leverage that he said against you, and you just confront fear right off the bat. To be honest here.
right? It come and goes, so it really depends on the person.
yeah, that makes sense.
All right, bud. Let me know once you fill it out too. Just send me a quick screenshot, and then I'm gonna send over the contract
You
to
see, he's a little anxious. He's like moving around. This is like body language you have to look at too.
you right now. So
Just give me a bit of time. I'll take a look at kind of like, is there anything else I need to look at before kind of signing up and paying for it, or what? This is basically just kind of start everything.
yeah, that's pretty much it. I explained to you everything
Yeah, this guy's just a fear. Like, yeah, it's like learning how to like calm him down with fear, but also give him that like he has to step into it type of vibe.
from A to Z.
Yeah, that makes sense. No, 'cause I also wanted to kind of see because I was asking a few questions on Instagram there, and then it basically just pushed me to get onto a call and ask questions here.
Hmm.
So this is kind of like a thing for me too. I just wanted to kind of make sure that I want to get on the call as well to see kind of what the program's all about, and then kind of decide from there as well.
Yeah, of course, man.
Yeah, so like good question that you asked there. Do you have any more questions?
Do you have any more questions?
As of right now, no. But I do want a little bit of time to just kind of see. If you send me a link, I give you a shout when I fill it out.
Never send him a link. Never give him leverage, by the way.
But I'm not gonna do it like right away right now.
Yeah, of course, man.
And just be like, cool, man, that makes sense. I mean, why wouldn't you do it right now, man? What's going on? Like, I would just like confront him. The mentorship's gonna make sense. I like how you asked about the mentorship.
Obviously, like a few like hours, few days. Just think about this. But at the end of the day, like I want to make sure this is something that you actually can help you. Because if it's can't, then it's not gonna work out. So do you feel like personally this could actually help you to get to that technical level?
Yeah, I think it could help me. I just want to make sure that I'm kind of taking a step in the right direction, kind of be 100% sure about that.
Okay.
Also,
Okay.
the question is there like, will there be a way to talk to somebody that has a store running and kind of see how that's kind of going? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's different if the person it's different if the person presenting something to you has done it themselves, right? As opposed to somebody that's, like I can tell a guy that a car is nice all I want, but if I haven't actually been in the car and driven it, it's hard to sell a car to somebody.
Right? So just take what he's hearing here and just try to understand. Be like, okay, so basically you need to see somebody who has a store and then you're gonna join. Nothing else. Right?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Does that kind of make sense? Like I can't tell a family like, oh yeah, this van has X, Y, and Z features. If I haven't been and driven it, done it myself,
Mhm.
it's tough to kind of pitch that. You know what I mean? And sell that the same way.
Yeah, so he's basically saying two things. Saying like, I want to see somebody else have a store, and then he wants to know if he can do it if he started from scratch.
Yeah, no, obviously that makes sense. The big thing
Kind
is
of like that.
getting lifetime access to that.
Don't pitch him that. Understand his objection right here. Right? So we want to see what he says.
But I do want a little bit of time to just kind of see. If you send me a link, I give you a shout when I fill it out. But I'm not gonna do it like right away right now.
Yeah, of course, man. Obviously like a few like hours, few days. Just think about this.
Don't give him that leverage. Oh yeah, hours, days, right? Don't give him that leverage because he's a guy who has cold feet.
But at the end of the day, like I want to make sure this is something that you actually can help you. Because if it's can't, then it's not gonna work out. So do you feel like personally this could actually help you to get to that technical level?
Yeah, I think it could help me. I just want to make sure that I'm kind of taking a step in the right direction, kind of be 100% sure about that.
Okay.
Also,
Okay.
the question is there like, will there be a way to talk to somebody that has a store running and kind of see how that's kind of going? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's different if the person it's different if the person presenting something to you has done it themselves, right? As opposed to somebody that's, like I can tell a guy that a car is nice all I want, but if I haven't actually been in the car and driven it, it's hard to sell a car to somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this is okay, got it, man. Totally makes sense. So the program makes sense to you. You know that this could help you. Cool. So the only thing that's holding you back is the fact that you just need to find somebody. You need to see somebody on the inside to actually help you or to show you that the store's up and running. Okay, cool. But anything outside of that, that's the only thing. Right? And be like, yeah, that might be it. Okay, cool, man. I mean, like, just from the questions I asked earlier, like, do you believe that Jad's legit? Might be like, yeah, kind of. Because now where we're going to present the logic trap is like, well, you came onto this call for a couple months knowing that Jad's legit. You said that Jad's legit when I got those questions out of you. So why wouldn't the students be legit as well? Right? you think actually think this guy's legit, right? Because we you know we talked about the YouTube stuff and like just the interviews and also like the reason why you came onto a call, right? And honestly, there's obviously cold feet amongst that, but we could talk about that afterwards. But um, you believe Jad's legit? It's like, yeah. It's like, okay, so why wouldn't his students be legit then? He'll be like, oh, I don't know. I mean, that's the only thing holding you back, man. That's cool. But I just don't want this to be an excuse because it's cold feet that you're having, and it could be cold feet or just an excuse. So like if we're being really honest, man, like let's say we don't even do this today, like what's really going on? Like what do you really need? Right? Like and then sometimes I even pull out my wallet, look, man, dude, let's not even worry about this right now. What's going on? Like are you nervous? Are you scared? Are you having cold feet again? Or is it just strictly like the mentorship stuff? Right? And what I would do in this scenario, I would negotiate and be like, okay, cool, bro. How about let's do this? How about you just put a deposit down because it ensures you're going to take action. This deposit is refundable, right? But what we're going to do is once I show you a student who's running their store, because we have access, if this is legit, that means you are willing to put a deposit, right? Because that's all you need. And then once you find that person's store, then you can actually be in a position to move forward for the rest of the payment. That sound fair? Right? Now you're kind of negotiating kind of that. Okay, his logic is he just needs to see a student. Well, everything else makes sense, so there's no reason why he shouldn't be able to put a deposit.
That makes
Is
sense.
that gonna make sense? Like I can't tell a family like, oh yeah, you know, this van has X, Y, and Z features. If I haven't been and driven it and done it myself,
Mhm.
it's tough to kind of pitch that, you know what I mean, and tell that the same way.
Yeah, no, obviously that makes sense. The big
You
thing
know,
is
where I'm coming from.
getting lifetime access to that Discord.
Yeah, I'll end it right there.